everyone. How's it going? It's nice to be back. Welcome to AEZ, All Elite Zone Canada. We are here for episode 25. 25 episodes already, and we got a great packed show to talk about tonight. And I am, with two of our favorites here. We got Mr. Hartgrave. How are you doing, sir?
Feeling gloomy.
I'll take that as a positive. And Siren back again. And how are you doing? How are you doing this so far this week?
I'm always doing amazing. It's been a good week so far. I pulled a bunch of cards. You guys can check that out on our YouTube dailies or the shorts, right? And then
yeah, I saw your the All Elite box reveal. I saw that.
Oh man, they're so pretty.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Well, yeah, this week we're going to be covering Dynamite, just like we always do, but we're going to touch on a couple other things. It was a big weekend, one of the biggest weekends in sports entertainment, professional wrestling with the Royal Rumble. So we'll just touch on that and a few other things. But it's great. There's never a shortage of wrestling to watch. Everything has been great. I think even TNA has been amazing, and they had it's a big spot for them. We can always chat about what we thought about that from the Royal. But anyways, we're gonna hop right into it, and we start off Dynamite with the AEW World Champion Samoa Joe kicking off the show. He's dressed to impress, which actually I really like that he's coming down to the ring in a suit. Nice, that's a really nice touch. And again, of course, he's eager to speak his mind. Putting out the challenge, we're talking about, they've got the rankings that are back that are important. And from here, we saw Hook coming out. I really hope that Hook, I know it's his character, but he's got to start with the dialogue a little bit more. So, Mr. Hartgrave, what are your thoughts on Samoa Joe, his little spiels coming out, and Hook's appearance?
I could complain more that the show starts with not a great promo. However, it's only 5 minutes long and it leads into a pretty great match. So the one thing I noticed about this was I literally had to check and make sure I was watching the right show, because Samoa Joe was like, I felt like it was the same promo as the week before. I was like, wait, am I watching the wrong one? But no, it was just he was repeating himself, and I can't complain though. It was like 5 minutes long. It's not a big deal. If they open the show with like a 15-minute long promo that stinks, then I got a problem. But 5 minutes, whatever. And I think I have more of an issue with him staying on commentary, which I felt was kind of flat. So we can talk about that when we talk about the match.
Sure.
My whole thing with it was I am kind of okay. I know that it kind of felt similar, but my thing is the Hook. I feel like they're going to build him up to be something awesome, and I feel like it was only shown by like the whole one and done, like one and jump up. Everybody's so upset about that he, like, after the Muscle Buster. I get that, I understand, but you have to remember whose son he is, how long he has been, like, he's been living, breathing wrestling since he was born. That's the whole thing, right? And I like how they did like that I don't know when and I don't know where, but I'll see you again. And I would love to see that rematch once he has developed fully. And like I've been saying it since he even like sniffed at the title, like, bro, you just learned how to like pick up that mic, you just learned how to speak. This is not your time. And I'm there. I like what they did with the whole I will see you again. I think that'll be cool. But yeah, was it a way to open the show? Yeah. Could it have been thrown in somewhere, anywhere else? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I actually, I would agree with both of you guys. When it, the fact that it was like 5 or 6 minutes, kind of short and sweet, that's fine. Don't give me a reason to hit the fast forward button.
Yeah.
I was thinking too, right? Because everyone complains about the homegrown talent and there's not enough, with AEW. Well, Hook is homegrown talent as you're going to find, right? So, you know what? Good for them for starting to elevate some of their younger guys, because we're seeing some of the guys like a MJF. These other guys are starting to move up. They're earning their stripes, and there's potential to move along, right? So you have to be prepared for that. So why not, develop these guys, get them with good matches, good wrestlers. You've got them with like a Samoa Joe. My God, right? It's something that's going to elevate you. It's going to be working with Samoa Joe. and I don't know if you guys caught this, and maybe I'm reading into this a bit much, but I actually kind of liked it that Samoa Joe was addressing the wrestlers in the back, and he actually said all the AEW superstars. So I was like, huh, because that's just the WWE, way of saying it. But it did fit though. It fit, but I caught that he didn't say, stars or wrestlers. He said superstars. So I don't know. I don't know if anyone else caught that. Maybe whoever's watching, if anyone else caught that as well, if it was weird or just a slip, or hey, you know what? That's a term that could be used for all professional wrestlers, sports entertainers, and it's just a good way to address them.
Forbidden Door is silly.
Right. So true. So from there, we go into our first match, which sees Hangman Adam Page going up against Penta El Zero Miedo. Good match again. Another showcase, I think, for both of these guys. I think they're both getting some good pushes. Hangman definitely is getting a big push, which is great because they're trying to really, really roll with him again. I think pretty much, I would say he's a homegrown talent as well. He's been there since the beginning. I mean, you guys might disagree with that, but I only really knew him since he started. I didn't really follow him on the indies. So again, just a great match. These guys can really go the distance. Good for the crowd, which I thought, wasn't surprising that the Hangman came away with the win on this one. Mr. Hargrave, your thoughts on this match and these guys?
Yeah, wow. I actually have gone back and started watching more Hangman from Ring of Honor, which, if you want to call it an indie, okay. But Ring of Honor, I mean, it's like a super indie, right? Let's call it a super indie. It was approaching mainstream, and now I don't know. Maybe technically it is, but he had some really good stuff back in Ring of Honor. I feel like if more of that was translated to his AEW run, people would have more of a fondness for Hangman, and I'm hoping that more people will get to appreciate him as his presentation has been improving. I know his looks are improving. He's got this real. I don't know what he's been doing. The guy's taken whatever supplements he's taken are working. He's getting like bigger every time we see him, and kind of scarier and more intimidating. And it's definitely fitting the cowboy persona more as this goes on. I really like this match. I thought I think this was the match of the night for me. Really, really good. I love it when Dynamite starts with a really good match, and that's what this was.
Agreed. Siren?
Okay. There's no secret that I've never been the biggest Hangman fan, and I'm not shy about saying it. But
he drank the blood and he spit it into the sky.
No, okay, I will say that you can go back and you should go back and listen to our podcast on YouTube and Spotify and many other places.
He hung John Moxley with a chain.
You can listen to me say it over the last couple weeks. I don't know if he's getting better or I'm just warming up to him, but I don't yawn or make farty noises every time he comes out, and I definitely used to. Yeah, it definitely. I will agree. He's not as boring as he used to. Like every time he used to come out, like when he got the mic, when somebody would hand him the mic, I would audibly be like, "Oh my God, no!" Like here we go again, and I'm not feeling that anymore. And the match itself was very entertaining. I mean, but when you have Penta in there, how can it not be? It was really good. Yeah, no, I thought it was really good. It was very clean, and yeah, I'm pretty excited about the whole. Everybody says it's going to be a 3-way Swerve, Samoa Joe, and Hangman. I don't know, but I'm excited to see where everything's going to go, and that's awesome.
No, I agreed. And Hangman, he is getting meaner the more his mustache grows.
Yeah.
Get rid of the nose neighbor.
Directly connected to his facial hair, for sure.
I get that. It makes me angry too.
Yeah, he's. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, but he is like turning. And everyone's kind of commenting online that the way he's morphing into the wrestlers now, and so like the transformation is almost complete, where he's turning into a TA, Magnum TA. The stash and the hairy chest and the same hair, and he's turning into a classic '80s wrestler, which is so cool, and I think it's needed, right? And then he's got that attitude, so. There's definitely a spot for him, and you know what? Run with it. If it's working, it's working. Good for him. I know we complained about him being a bit boring and lackadaisy, and it's like, but I think, he's on a real streak right now, and maybe he's feeling healthy. I think sometimes we underestimate the way some of these, the girls and guys that are operating, that we don't know how badly they might be actually hurting, and they're working with injuries, and they're doing the absolute best they can. But we sometimes think like, oh, that was weak, that was a botch.
It was more his mic work that I had a problem with, but I see where you're going.
And you don't
One
hear
thing I noticed by going back to Ring of Honor is people really haven't seen Hangman go at full speed. Back in his Ring of Honor days, he was quick. Like that buckshot lariat was terrifying, and he would go to both sides of the ring with it. Like it wouldn't just be like he wouldn't stop; he would go through people. And with age, it's not going to do that anymore. But it's a shame that so much of his development has happened like off camera, and we were just kind of people who watched it were excited about Hangman. Maybe even got excited about his championship run. I know that's the minority, but I feel that if it would have happened in front of us, we would have taken to it much better.
I remember he did when he came into AEW, and I wasn't familiar with him, but I know there are a lot of fans that were, and maybe to your point, that were excited to see him come in, and I was like, okay, this is, and they're excited that he was going to be, a big part of it. Obviously, that was an indication when he was fighting Jericho, to be the first AEW champion, right? So there's a lot of setup, I think, with him, and so you know what, better late than never. Like, I don't know, do we see the belt back on him this year? The way
dear Lord, I hope not. I mean,
no.
dude, give the man his dues. Yes, he's doing better, but there are other people out there right now who deserve a spot to shine. He had his back of the line, bro.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Swerve and Hangman rematch, and they'll actually have a championship involved. You'll have the AEW championship on the line for either of the guys. I think it might be Swerve, but I think we're going to see a final match with a belt actually at stake, which I think it would be really cool if it ends off that feud that way, because they've never had that, right? They've never had the feud ended with any kind of title. So that'd be interesting to see what happens there.
Agreed.
So we just go right into next is Renee Paquette backstage with the AEW International Champion, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. And really, Renee was there she wanted to know what Orange's reaction would be to Roderick Strong's challenge. Mr. Hartgrave, did you have any thoughts on that little interview here? You think of
it just kind of confirms my feeling that maybe it wasn't a great idea to announce that match 7 weeks ahead of time. I mean, Orange Cassidy basically calls it out. He's like, this is kind of stupid, right? Like we announced this match like 7 weeks in advance. Now, what are we supposed to do? I guess I'll have these guys fight each other, and then whoever wins, Commander, can challenge me. And then there'll be a lot of suspense involved in that matchup.
Right. And that's exactly what, I agreed with you when you said it. I feel like they've done it a few times, and they've been trying to cover it up with commentary, being like, oh, well, I mean, but if he loses the title, they're still going to have this match, and you're like, well, what the fuck's the point? Like, I don't know.
I watched the Orange Cassidy versus Commander match. I don't remember anything about it.
There was a really solid rope run in there. I love Commander.
Usually
Exactly. That's what I remember about it.
It's good. It's good for the live audience for sure. But as far as us watching at home, I know that match is going down with Roderick Strong. Whatever, man.
Yeah, exactly. I feel that.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you guys. It's going to be interesting to see what they do and how they use this time in between. Is it going to change hands? Is he going to hang it on? Is he going to keep it the whole time? So I guess we'll see. But I agree. Both you guys have really good points. The next segment we go to the Young Bucks with Nick and Matt. I guess Nicholas and Matt Jackson. Sorry, I had to rephrase that.
Use their legal names.
That's right. Sorry. They're gentlemen now. They're executives. So they're walking backstage. And they're with Alex Marvis approaches them, hoping to get a word in wise. I guess they're playing this new character. Mr. Hargrave, what are your thoughts on the Young Bucks as the executives?
Recently, people had mentioned that some of the things they were doing were inspired by Vince McMahon. Now, with recent developments, how much are the Young Bucks tempted to take things a little further? I don't know. So I got my eye on it. I'm waiting to see if they make any. They're kind of bold sometimes. they might do something. I don't know. It's dangerous.
Siren, what are your thoughts?
I was like, since they debuted the Matthew and Nicholas look, I was like, haha, porn stash, haha, porn stash. And then I was watching a whole crap ton of Dark Side of the Ring this weekend, like my weekend. And I was like, that's not a porn stash, that's a Vince McMahon stash. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a funny observation on that. So you know what? At least if it's kind of a reinventing, they're playing on this whole EVPs and that whole thing with Punk. So
I love it.
they're like, yeah, you know what? Let's just run with it. Let's go with it. So good for them if it works out. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. And they just had a little run in, I guess, with Top Flight there. Not much there, but we head into the next match we have. There is the Undisputed Kingdom's Wardlow with Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and the ROH World Tag Team Champions. Wardlow was up against best friends Trent Beretta, and he came with Rocky Romero, Chuck Taylor, and the AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy. So again, entertaining match. I really feel these are two guys that they're pushing. I think they're doing a great job. AEW right now, they're pushing a lot of their homegrown guys or guys that they've had for quite a while. So, Trent, obviously we've seen the last few weeks. He's been great in a great push. He's a great wrestler, and they're really doing a big push, obviously, with Wardlow. And we had, with no surprise, Wardlow coming out on top, which again I knew that was going to be the case. But Trent's been getting some love as well and getting some good matches. And with that, I'll pass it over to Mr. Hartgrave for feedback.
Yeah, I really like this match. I thought it was handled masterfully. They could have handled this so much worse. And I was worried, are they going to squash everything that they built up with Trent for so long? And they didn't. Both guys, Wardlow still looks like a monster. Trent still looks like a viable threat. And that's hard to do. They really just walked a very great tightrope between the two guys. Great back and forth. Thought it was fantastic. Trent's got some hope spots in there that were totally believable, yet didn't diminish Wardlow at all. Wardlow looks strong. Trent doesn't look weak, which is really hard to do with a match like that because this is the first match where he's come back and he hasn't just squashed somebody, and they did it really well.
Siren, over to you.
I was very worried that it was going to be a squash match, but I was, well, no, and I was saying it from the beginning. I was like, it'd be dumb if they squashed him. They better not, because it would be so stupid. They've been working on him, and there's a bunch of stuff that I thought that they could have done with him that they haven't. So there's been potential with Trent for a while now, and I'm like, if they just go in there and squash him, but the sequence, it was chair suplex DDT pile driver that Trent pulled off on Wardlow, and you're like, did that just happen? Did he just do that? And that was so awesome. And I thought it was really cool. And all in all, good match. I think that for me, I'm hoping that, because at the end, Cassidy does go to help Trent up, and Trent kind of snaps at him a little bit, and they've been teasing it for a very long time. It's getting to the point where I'm starting to get just do it, because I'm getting frustrated now, and but so I'm hoping that something comes out of that and it wasn't just a little thing again, because it feels like they're just starting to be little things and I'm going crazy. So something needs to happen or I'm going crazy.
No, fair enough. And I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad it was a squash match. And I don't think it should have been. That would have been a real slap in the face. And again, to the work that they'd be doing, like you mentioned there, Mr. Hartgrave, there's a lot of work that's been put there, and you'd ruin it.
It wouldn't be horrible, though. I mean, it would be what it is. Wardlow's a huge guy that squashes people, so it's if they did it, I wouldn't have blamed him, but I really like the way they handled it.
I would blame them.
I'm just wondering where Wardlow's hair is going. I don't know. Is it long? Is this the look? I don't know. I just can't get over the school bully haircut. I
feel that.
I like I actually would have shaved. He looked a little meaner, and he's got this big puff up. Anyways, I've always liked Wardlow's. He's a good wrestler. We'll see what
Mhm.
happens to him. We go on to the next segment. We have AEW Women's World Champion Timeless Toni Storm, and she went face to face with the virtuoso Deonna Purrazzo during an interview on stage with Renee Paquette. This was actually funny. I like they had the screen split and showing the black and white, which is I love it. They're just keeping on with a theme, so I love it. They're just running with it. I felt that this was really trying to it's for the fans to connect at that, because again, anyone who's just watching AEW won't understand that if there is history and why there's history and what that history is. So I think they're doing a good job, unless you've watched, obviously where the ladies were before teaming up and got along, and so I think they're doing a good job of trying to tell that story to bring the fans up to speed on what really is the importance, and then they obviously show the matching tattoos on the ankle. And with that, so what are your thoughts? How do you like Toni, and how do you like this matchup building up there, Mr. Hartgrave?
Yeah, my main thought on this one, I was a bit concerned that we are teasing, I want to fight regular Toni Storm. I don't want this timeless Toni Storm, which is literally what no one wants.
Yeah.
So if that's what this is building towards, is the abandonment of the timeless Toni Storm gimmick, that's a horrible idea. I think timeless Toni Storm is Toni Storm's thing for life. I understand that she might want to reinvent herself at a certain point, but I think she should really ride this thing out because it's really working, and I wouldn't drop it. So I'm very afraid that they are going to screw that up. I hope they do not.
Siren?
The the only thing that I ever really worry about when they bring in new people and is because I'm very protective of my love of AEW and
Sure.
the hiring boom era, I feel like was the worst time for AEW when they kept bringing in new people and like squashing their homegrowns, and there was no build to anything. It was just like these people would come in and roll over everybody, and I hated it, and so I was worried. I was like, I don't want that feel again. But I really love how like they come out and like the legit storyline, like the lines on those tattoos are blown out enough that shows me like they've had them for a while. Like, you know what I mean? Like those, like that's a long time to have something like that, and that's really cool. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, I hope that the match and that kind of stuff doesn't happen right away, and if it does, like, I mean, like, I hope that Toni wins and she keeps with the timeless, and the timeless is like, the and Deonna has to work her way back up, because I really don't like if she would just come in and roll over everything, because that's what I hated about the last little bit, and I feel like we're just getting out of the brokenness that was the hiring boom, and finally starting to work everybody into where they're doing well and need to be to grow to do well, and to just start throwing in new people and smushing people again would make me very sad inside. So
Yeah, it was good. I almost felt I had this like Obi-Wan trying to like Darth Vader. I knew you were Anakin before. I knew who you were.
there you
You
go.
turned to the dark side. You don't fool anybody. I kind of had that feel. I don't think that they're going to ruin it or go back. It's almost like that old Toni Storm is dead.
I hope so.
This is going to help and elevate the character. And where she's like, no, that friend, that was that, and I'm this now. So I don't think I understand your concern, but I think it wouldn't be a wise decision to do that, because they've really built up and people love this character and they want to see where it's going to go.
I like how they threw their shoes at each other.
Yeah, the shoes, and then she kicks, and then we got Luther. Unfortunately, gets punched in the, or no, he got kicked in the face. Poor Luther. I love the man. So anyways, it just always ends in craziness and falling all over and just dramatics, which is actually pretty entertaining, which is great. So then from there we go into there's a little promo with Jon Moxley. I don't really care to talk too much about it. It feels like I'm just kind of, Jon Moxley's promos seem to be pretty much the same all the time. Angry. I don't know if you guys. He's a John Moxley promo. It is.
Moxley.
Yeah, but it is what it is. There's nothing to say.
That's
about
exactly it.
John Moxley, yeah.
It's John
That's-
Moxley.
Almost like I could have the volume off and still totally understand what he's saying and the message.
I'm
He's
gonna
stepped
hurt
on-
people because
right?
that's what I do.
He's always in the back stairwells and back and forth. Or sitting on
And
the
this is
floor.
where he points out he might even beat up his own guys.
This actually has a really
He's like, "I'll
good
beat everybody
point
up."
to it, though, you guys. You have to remember in this one, he does point out that people do tend to forget that this is supposed to be an elite
Yeah.
company. There's no freaking mid card. There's no bottom rung. It's all everybody's supposed to be elite. So like that's what it's supposed to be. Is everybody's supposed to be elite, and that's why they went back to the ranking system. It's not. I agree that I feel was the point of this John Moxley promo. Don't forget, we're the elite. This is the
Yes.
elite. Don't be a baby. You
Well,
know.
To your point, he did say, you almost said it spot on. He said, a lot of people come here and they don't know what elite means. In 2024, I will maim and torture anyone that can't keep up in the
And that's
ring.
where you get the job.
I'm going to do it every single time. So,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, that's from John, and then we get over to, and we have a little promo, and maybe I've missed something, and maybe again I see with Taya Valkyrie, and all of a sudden Johnny TV,
That's her husband.
is it? Are they
All right,
married?
so you haven't been
Actual
watching
husband.
Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
You
no,
haven't
you
watched
have to watch Ring of Honor.
And you
They have a
guys
whole
should
thing with
know.
Dalton Castle and everything.
Yes.
It's been a crazy shenanigans. They've ruined my Peacock, and I need them to pay.
I do, yeah.
Oh, he's having too much fun with that, though.
Oh, he
Dalton
really is.
Castle, yeah, it's the best thing on Ring of Honor TV
with
right
his
now.
cheese, with his cheese on the door. You're just like, okay, sorry, I won't.
I loved it from the moment he cut the crazy promo about being out all night, and he ran past his favorite fondue restaurant, and he broke in because I gotta have my cheese.
I'm gonna have my cheese. Yeah, I love him. Dalton Castle is my
It's a shame
spirit
more
animal.
people aren't enjoying this.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Dalton, he is actually he is very entertaining.
Wonder.
I wouldn't be surprised. He seems like he's the kind of guy that WWE would gravitate to. They like that kind of flamboyancy, that kind of fun character. At least they would have, anyways, back in the 90s.
Oh my God! Back in the day, this is another thing I watched a lot of back that I've been catching up on is Dalton Castle back in Ring of Honor before his back injury was like a whole other creature. Wow, what amazing stuff!
Really?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
No, he's
He was a
insane.
real up and coming talent. The back injury just kind of changed a lot of stuff. So
But
it's
I
unfortunate.
still love-
He still carries over a lot. He's still a magnificent performer or whatnot. But I feel like maybe this is what would keep him out of the WWE or whatnot is dealing with that. Yeah.
I understand that. They don't like anything that has been even remotely at some point damaged.
great. Well,
I mean, here's the story. So he broke his back. He got the Ring of Honor championship, and then he held it for with a broken back for 6 months to 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
really?
Yes, he
And
did.
because he knew
Yes, he
they
did.
needed someone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! I wonder how much.
It's insane.
I wonder how much extra damage he did by keep on going and
God
working with
knows.
the injury as opposed
My
to
God.
God
like
knows.
shutting it down.
But that's why he throws boys at people now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, his gimmick is great. He is definitely entertaining and it's different, right? So, yeah, so I love that extra flamboyancy in there. I think that's it's hilarious to watch.
But
So from there-
unfortunately, we get Taya Valkyrie and Johnny TV, who are the less interesting part of what's going on there. So
I hate
unfortunate
them.
we didn't get Dalton Castle instead on TV.
Yeah, we got Taya and Johnny, and Taya's Canadian, and I hate them. So next up, we have Swerve Strickland and Jeff Hardy, which I know Matt has been trying to segue to. I love you, Matt.
It's okay. It's all good points. All good points.
I gotta have my cheese.
Gotta have my cheese. The Doritos, eating them out of his jumper was anyway.
So, good match. Actually, I think this was a good matchup. I think this was the kind of matchup that Matt Hardy needed. Because again, Swerve, I think he's a great wrestler. He can make anyone look good. And Jeff, I mean, Matt needed someone like this right now. A lot of back and forth because both have got some high flying. I do kind of now when I watch Jeff, I do kind of hold my breath a little bit because I know there's been some struggle of time. Some of the spots hasn't been as crisp. I know he's getting older, and he's putting his body through a lot of stuff. So I was glad to see that a lot of the moves did turn out. There were some really good spots on this. So, not surprising that Swerve did get the win, but I think it also was a win for Jeff Hardy. Anytime that you can showcase on Dynamite and have a good match, a great match with someone like Swerve, who's really at the top of his game, that's a win, right? Because I know the guys were complaining that kind of being sent down to Rampage, and they were kind of complaining, "Hey, this is our swan song. We want to get back. We have more to give." So, okay, boom, you're on Dynamite with Swerve. I think that's a pretty good compromise there. Anyways, I'll pass it over to you, Hargrave, and your thought.
Yeah, I like the different energy on Jeff for this match. And he really wasn't doing very many big spots for this. And he just came out just totally kind of different, more focused, more angry, more heel Jeff, I guess, is what we're talking about. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And yeah, it was pretty predictable. We knew Swerve was going to win here. I also kind of wonder, Swerve said he wasn't wasting his time anymore, then proceeds to waste his time some more. So it's interesting. But, who would pass down? I know that he can't be mad getting a match in with Jeff Hardy before he retires. So it's good.
I was about to give you a little smack there.
No.
You saved yourself at the end. I was like reaching. Okay.
He said it, but he didn't mean it. Like, I know Swerve. I know Swerve is happy to have a match with Dustin.
Yeah.
I know he's happy to have a match with Jeff. But these matches are not moving his career forward.
They're not. No, they're not. But I will say, if anybody has watched like the last, I think it's like the last, including this, like 3 matches that Jeff has been a part of, he has been super crisp. He has been on the freaking ball, and I've been able to point it out every time. He is very focused. It's looking really good, and it's making me feel, I feel like, and I don't know if it's the same for anybody else out there who's a wrestling fan or whatever, but like for me, getting sober and stuff, having people to look up to is awesome. John Moxley was one of my big, like, yeah, if he can do this, living in that lifestyle, then I can do this when I don't even leave my house. Like, and so I feel like maybe for Jeff, being around people who are promoting the sobriety and not just as a gimmick, but like who are, I don't know, I think it'd be great. Like, I would love to be around people who have been there and who are healing and doing very, very, very well and healthy. Like, I think it would, I don't know. You can see it that he's doing very well. And it's making me very happy to watch. As another recovering soul watching a recovering soul. So yeah, it was good stuff. It was a solid match. I liked it. I knew Swerve was going to win, but Swerve is also going to be champion, I say, by the end of this year, at least for a little bit. He's awesome.
I agree. I mean, everyone does love a story of redemption, and everyone does want Jeff Hardy to do well. I mean,
we all saw that Sting match,
right? What's that?
We all saw that Sting match, the Sting and Jeff Hardy match.
Yeah,
we all saw that.
Yeah,
and I will say, if you look at his stuff now, that is night and day. Like, that is not the same person.
Absolutely. Well, that just shows, an addiction, being in an active addiction. It changes you, right? So it's a different person. He wasn't even there. He probably, like he even says, he doesn't even remember even being there. Like, you don't
exactly.
He's like, that's not. It doesn't even look like me because I don't even remember being like that. Like, it's crazy, right? Same as again, we could talk about Kurt Angle and his redemption stories, right? So same things that he had to go through as well. So, anyways, yeah. So we'll see. I still think we also underestimate that some of these guys are fans. And some of these guys I've watched, like Swerve might have been like, I've been watching the Hardys my entire career, and it's an honor to freaking wrestle one of these guys. So you do forget that these guys want to be in a Legends match. I mean, look at Eddie Kingston. That's like his big thing. That's all he wants to do is fight his Legends, and that's all he wants. Right? So I get it. So this could have been one of those matches where Swerve's like, no, I want to face a Hardy. That's something I always wanted to do, and I'll be more happy to do it. Give him a showcase while he's showcasing me.
It did look so good.
So I still think there is benefit to it to elevate Swerve, right? He beat a Hardy, and there's still something to be said about being a Hardy, no matter what. And then from there we go to a commercial break, and we've got Renee Paquette interviewing Hangman Adam Page. where she congratulates him on his 3-0 start.
Yeah.
2024. And again, he's just getting angrier and angrier as the mustache grows. And then we had Prince Nana with Swerve interrupt the interview. And there were some words back and forth with these guys. From there, then Renee had some breaking news. Next week on Dynamite, both of you will be in the dealer's choice matches, choosing each other's matches. What are your thoughts on this, Mr. Hartgrave?
Yeah, so what we know right now is that Swerve is picking, I know you're going to like the Siren, Tama Tonga, right? That's his pick to go against Hangman. Do we know who Hangman has selected for Swerve at this point?
Probably himself.
I don't think that's allowed.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know.
So I guess it's a mystery. So who do we think Hangman should pick for Swerve? I want Keith Lee. I think that would be like the match is Keith Lee. Bring that out and make it happen. I don't know if it can happen, right? But that's like the one.
We haven't seen it yet.
We haven't seen it, and we were supposed to get it, and we didn't get it. So I don't know. What do you think, Siren? If it's not Keith Lee, who would it be? Who would Hangman call upon? He's elite. I can't bring out Kenny Omega, right? That would be amazing. That's going to be a long time. It's a long recovery.
A long time, if ever, depending on how that goes.
He could call one of his cowboy friends. You know, his cowboy. They've kind of teased this faction being set up, right?
Yeah, I love that idea.
I don't know. I don't know.
You know,
as long as it's not him, I don't care. I think Swerve is gonna.
Not him.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like Swerve is gonna probably plow through whoever it is, and it's gonna be a fantastic show. I hope there's going to be lots of blood. I like the whole Swerve and his violent craziness. Him and Hangman, that was a crazy match that I never expected, and I would love to watch it again.
You know what? I'd like him to pick his wife. His wife's got to be upset, man. You know, Swerve threatened her baby. She could get in.
Moxley.
Moxley's
you know what?
Good.
I would pick Moxley. Yeah,
that's a good choice.
Violence, and the guy just wants to fight. There's really, like, I just want to hurt people.
All right. I'm going to throw it back to Matt. If you can pick one person on the AEW roster to go just fuck someone up, who's your pick? Like, let's not even think like Hangman. Just think practically. Is it John Moxley or is it someone else?
Well.
That's a good question.
John Moxley, and it's not Keith Lee.
Daniel Bryan is a good choice.
Okay,
Bryan is a good choice.
I think I could see this because it keeps it in the storyline that it could be Hook, and it could be like, how about a submission match with Hook?
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
That would be neat. I would like that.
Because
Hook can mess you up for real. I feel like Hook is actually, capable of beating someone up.
Oh no, 100%.
Joe, and it keeps it in the storyline that because he's there with Joe, they all want to get to Joe.
Yeah.
Like it still keeps them there, right? And
I would love that.
I like
so
it.
That could be interesting. That could be
choices. I guess time will tell. I'm excited to find out who it's going to be.
Yeah.
Me too.
Me too. So there we go to Thunder Rosa versus Red Velvet. I'm actually digging. I really like the new look of Thunder Rosa. I like the hair. I like the makeup. I like the backstage. I like the backdrop they have. For the graphic they have for. She looks real excited to be back, right? So, which is great because it's someone that's just absolutely missed being there. Red Velvet, I don't think we've really seen Red Velvet much recently.
She's come back a little bit. Yeah, she was, oh gosh. Was it Ruby? And then she had another match too. Oh my gosh. I'd have to rack my brain for it, but I know she came back and she had another match against somebody as well. Gotcha. Darn it.
Yeah. So this went back and forth. At the end there, Thunder Rosa blasted Red Velvet with a shotgun drop kick. Thunder Rosa finished off Red Velvet with a Tijuana bomb and pinned her. Mr. Hartgrave, your thoughts?
It was a good match. I can't remember what I exactly thought about this. I wish it was more memorable, but it's good to see Thunder Rosa back. Absolutely, 1,000%.
Siren?
My thoughts on this is going to shoot me right over to Collision, and I'm going to talk about Serena Deeb for a second.
Yeah.
Because this is how you do a comeback, Rosa. Take notes. Okay, I know why she's here. I got her promos leading up to when she came back. I got a beautiful in ring telling me exactly what the heck she wants and why. What's going on, Rosa? I see you. I'm happy you're here wrestling. I see you. It's great. It's awesome. I'm so excited you're home. Why? Like, like, is it that hard? Like, I know exactly what's going on with Serena Deeb. That is how you make your comeback. It was phenomenal. Your match was great. Next.
All right. Next, we have Toni Schiavone was in the ring interviewing Darby Allin and Sting. And of course, Darby wanted to take some time to recognize Sting and the accomplishments and everything he's done, and a lot of the stuff we've heard. And then it kind of came to, hey, do you have one more chance here? You got one more in you to go for the, since the rankings mean something again, which means we're at the top. Hey, do you guys want to go for the the tag championship? You won last run, and of course, Sting. Yes, of course. I just want to comment. I don't know. I was almost getting fixated on the makeup job of Sting and the block. It was like kind of messy, and I'm kind of getting too focused on that. Something's off. It's not the nice clean line that he always does. It's a little like messier. So, anyways, I know I always get distracted by these cosmetics, but Mr. Hargrave, what are your thoughts on this segment?
Everybody really seems to want Sting and Darby to win the tag belts, which I don't know. That's a really weird thing because Sting's retiring. So I don't know about retiring with the belts, that whole concept. How many times has that happened in wrestling history? And has it ever been good? Is there any groundwork for this occurring, or is this something that doesn't happen?
You know what? Know. Even if it does, the title will be dropped like the next week, whatever. It's going to be something. So it'll be like,
isn't that sad? I don't know.
If anything, it's just really for respecting the career of Sting to go out with a banging title. Yes, it doesn't do anything for what's happening for the rest of the talent since he's leaving, so it doesn't. So maybe they just do it as it's like a win-win where, hey, the bad guys win, but
I think they visually win, but somebody messes it up for them.
I think they take the title and then the Bucks take it from them at his retirement match. Bucks come the best heels. Bucks come the best heels in history. Controversy creates cash. Everybody hates the Bucks anyway. It's going to be the best. I would hate it. I would hate it so much that I would have to watch. Oh, it's so bad. It is so bad. It is so bad.
But does that match need belts on the line?
Because no. But if they have the belts, then are the Bucks gonna lose and they're gonna retire the belts? Where does the story go with that? I feel
like the Bucks are gonna get involved earlier to up the stakes in the pay-per-view. But we'll find out.
I could see that too. I just would love to have them be like the absolute worst people in the history of wrestling ever.
But that's like IRL worst. That's not even like.
But that's what I mean, though. Like, no, it's not IRL worse. They can't be worse than some people involved in the wrestling industry.
I don't like setting Sting up for a loss on his way out.
That's true.
But you know what? If you notice, a lot of guys who retire, lose their retirement match. I think like Macho Man lost his, Ric Flair lost his, Kurt Angle lost his.
Like me.
Right? It's almost like a rite of passage, right? It's like hey, you know what?
You're done, son.
If they're being unselfish as they are passing the torch, and usually they're going whoever they're losing to, it's someone they fully respect, and it's there's a
respect. Would be the Young Bucks.
I think you can have your cake and eat it too, though. I think you can set up a singles match between Sting and Darby sometime before the pay-per-view and have Darby win that match, just as like, hey man, I want to get one match with you before you go out. That kind of thing. I don't know. Sting has also said he doesn't want to work any more singles matches. So, we'll see. You know what? They'll do whatever Sting wants, and I like that. I can't be mad about it.
Exactly. That's exactly it. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to see because nobody really knows. It's another one of those things, kind of like with the early on stages of the devil, where it was like everybody was like, "What? Who? What?" And I love that. That's what makes me excited to be a wrestling fan.
Gets people talking, and it'll definitely put some eyes on that match when it happens. I think the match between Darby and Sting and whatever you want to call them, Starks and Big Bill, should be interesting.
And speaking of Starks and Big Bill, after the commercial break, they go to the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Absolute Ricky Starks and Big Bill, responding to Sting and Darby Allin backstage. Obviously just kind of doing. Big Bill starts chatting. Starks does his usual. I don't know if
kind
you
of
comment on it.
floundering on the mic, that usual.
Yeah. Which is weird. I don't know if you guys notice, and this is another thing that cosmetically that does bug me. When you're tag team champions and you only play one of the guys' themes and you both come out to Ricky Stark's themes and you can't even put Big Bill behind, like flash his name.
What gets me about Big Bill is he has the worst song and the worst graphics, like out of anybody on the whole roster.
And the worst name.
I get just taking Ricky's. The worst name.
No, like almost you can't. Yeah, you know what?
Pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
It's pretty bad. And I almost feel like it's a testament to how good he is that he took all that and he still got people to like him.
100%.
That's true, and that's talent as well.
That's good. Stardust level.
The worst song, the worst graphics, the worst name, the worst ring gear, the worst gimmick.
The worst.
Take it all. The worst tag partner. That's not nice. But it's kind of. I don't know, man. I should like Ricky Starks by now. I've been watching him for years. I can't do it. I still can't. I'm sorry. I'm sure as a person he seems like a nice guy. Actually, he seems kind of douchey. I was gonna say, I watch him on Instagram and he seems kind of douchey.
Oh, Big Bill?
Maybe it's Ricky. I love Big Bill. I think that was great. I don't know, man. I want to like Ricky so much.
Yeah, I never been a big Ricky fan. I know he's a great wrestler. I just was never like he's okay. I mean, and he can, he's good on. He can be good on the mic.
He can wrestle. Yes, he can be good on the mic. He can. He's thrown his promo.
Lost. He is so lost.
Sometimes, yeah. He doesn't like when people go off. Like you can tell when it's a shoot with him because he like.
Yeah,
it is a little horrible. See.
And then he says some stuff that, like, teenagers on the playground would say to retort, and then people are like, "Look, he's good on the mic." I'm like, "Okay, whatever, man."
That's true. So from there, we're gonna segue over.
Yeah, well, you're all full of poop.
Yeah, exactly. You're a dummy head.
You're a dummy. I'm like, all right, Ricky.
All right, so we got the AEW World Trios Championship match. We got the Acclaimed, along with Daddy I, and then we've also walking out with the ROH World Six-Man Champions Bullet Club Gold, and they're fighting against the Mogul Embassy, Bishop Khan, Toa Leona, and the Machine Brian Cage. Again, I think I mentioned it last week. I think we were talking about them losing the ROH six-man tag titles, and I said you're going to see more showcase in AEW, and there's a good chance. And there's in this week again. I think they're great talents, and I think they keep the momentum with these guys because they're powerhouses. I love them. I think they're all great. Brian Cage, I can kind of take or leave it, but I can appreciate he does have some good talent, so I'll give him that. I'm not. I mean, I'll get your guys' thoughts on this one. I mean, we know how well it ended, but a little bit surprising that we had the run-in, and we had who would we have in there? What at the end there? Oh, it was Jay White. We had Jay White that came in to interfere with the chain. Oh yeah, he yanked the chair out of Khan's hand, and the boom, which laid for the Guns power bomb Prince Nada as well through the timekeeper's table. And it ended up with Billy Gunn, Rock Bishop Khan with a Fame Asser. Bowens blasted Bishop with the arrival, and Cass hit him with the mic drop and finished off Bishop Khan for the pinfall victory. Mr. Hartgrave, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I wonder when I'm gonna get used to the Bullet Club's new intro, because like it kind of confuses me right now. All the lights go out, and there's all these like sounds and stuff, and I'm like, what's going on? And I don't know how long before that's gonna click in my head. Oh, it's the Bullet Club Gold. It's not the House of Black. We're not experiencing some technical difficulties as we often do. Oh no, it's actually Bullet Club Gold. Yeah, I don't get the logic of this, because like these guys just lost the trios belt, so they get a title shot. Like I don't know how that works. We got rankings, right? I don't know. It definitely should be the Acclaim versus Bullet Club Gold, but this is why they put them together, so that other people can get shots, and that maybe we can do that match at the pay-per-view. It's funny that Brian Cage comes out with his tights that refer to get his shit in, because he got none of his shit in, but the Acclaim got all of theirs in. It was pretty one-sided, but I enjoy it. I like these guys.
Byron?
I really don't like the whole bang bang scissor gang thing, but I understand the necessity of it. The
You
only
said it. It rolls off the tongue.
Oh yes. Yeah, no, 100%. The only redeeming quality of that was when they were doing the very first like come together scissor. I was like, if they don't do the bang bang gun and the scissors, I riot. Like, and they did, and that was the only redeeming quality of that. Other than that, I am not a fan, and it doesn't make any sense to me aside from the fact of what you just said, giving other people a chance. But yeah, I don't like it. And as for Brian Cage, the man is like built like a brick shithouse, but can move like a cruiserweight sometimes. Okay, like you can see him do some really crazy stuff sometimes. How can a man of that size do some of those things? And that is where he shines. Is when he really gets to like start going. And I don't feel like he really gets that chance very often anymore. But I love Toa Leona. Toa Leon, right? Toa Leon.
Yeah.
Leona. I love him.
You know,
I think he's great. I think he is a big, scary man, and he is going to do wonderful things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed.
This match could have used more rock card juice board, though.
I call him Juice Box.
He's so funny. I love that they have a cutout of him now. That's awesome.
Yes.
No, you know what? I don't like the combination of the groups, and it just seems so fake. Like, of course, it's going to go sideways.
Yeah, it's going to go sideways.
It's just so like, why? How long is this going to last? So I'm not a big fan of that.
You know, so we don't have a 7-week buildup that doesn't do anything, and I'm kind of a fan of it because of that. Like, I'd rather this than the Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy 7 weeks of death kind of thing. Like, at least put these guys together and have them goof off each other for a while.
I agree.
Sure. And then because when things go sideways and, week 5.
You're sitting there, 6, we haven't seen the match. We haven't seen the build. I mean, we're seeing the build, but it's just like, it's the same as MJF and Adam Cole. Just friendship, explosion, match. Maybe it's great.
No, absolutely. I agree.
We need more. We need them to do vignettes. Okay, everybody would be happy if the Acclaimed and Bullet Club Gold went out and got some Chinese food or went to the trampoline park. Like, let's go do the fun stuff.
Yeah, nope. Yeah. That would satisfy me.
Yeah,
I would be satisfied.
You know what? It's been a little while since we've had that, right? Because I know MJF and Adam Cole were doing a lot, and the Acclaimed were back. Remember they were making those rap videos? Like,
yeah. Oh man, we need the rap video. Okay, if they do a rap video, then everyone's gonna love it.
Yes, I think it's perfect. This is the perfect time to do it with everybody. Yes. The whole gang's there.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we've said it now. We're going to see a video, and we've called it.
So shall it be written? So shall it be done?
I hope so.
All right. So from there, we go to the main event. We have the Rated R Superstar, Adam Copeland versus Minoru Suzuki. Again, one of these interesting things that AEW does is, you know what, we're going to bring a guy like this in. Again, it doesn't do anything necessarily for a storyline, but it's like paying homage. It's that respect. It's that Legends match. And AEW likes to do that regardless. And it does work. And these kind of matches show that you don't always need a storyline with these two. They kept on referencing, obviously, the storyline with between Christian and Adam Copeland. So that's so that storyline's there. But this is one of those like, hey, you know what? This is my swan song. Who are you going to give me? This is who I'm getting, right? And Adam Copeland kind of mentions that in his promo. So it's always interesting with this. I thought it was a good match. A lot of back and forth, a lot of hard hitting. Copeland, and at the end there on the mic, he's like, "I've never been hit that's hard before," which is crazy to say because he's been in every type of match possible, and with, my God, how many thousands of wrestlers that he's wrestled with. But I thought it was overall it was entertaining, and again, it's a respect match in my books, a Legends match, giving the fan base, hey, let's give them a dream match, so to speak, and then from there, I'll pass it over to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're setting up for a rematch on a Forbidden Door pay-per-view here, because it kind of ends. It's not the best match I've seen Suzuki in. It's not usually, they're a little more epic, a little more slappy, if that's even possible, but it seemed a little light on stuff. And then at the end, he walks off, does not give Adam his respect. So I think that maybe we're setting the seeds for a rematch at the Forbidden Door.
Siren?
I would absolutely love that. I love Suzuki. One of my all-time favorite matches. You guys didn't bring it up. Oh, he is completely off the deep end. You don't cut your hair like that if you are some sort of sane. Like, like this guy is out there. And like one of my all-time favorite matches that I've ever seen on AEW was Suzuki and Kingston. And it was awesome. And Suzuki's chest afterwards, like you just might as well just grab some of that, roll it up and make a burger, because that is ground beef. Like, it was crazy. It was so good. And like, I don't doubt that Copeland said that he's never been hit like that before, because I don't know if he pulls like at all. Like, I don't know. Like,
Suzuki doesn't know that it's fake, or he doesn't know any of that.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, not that, I think it's if you listen to like a lot of the old school Japanese wrestlers talk about it, like the only things in there that was fake were fake, and I hate that word. Was who was gonna win.
Yeah, there you go.
Like,
but everything, they just hit each other for real.
Exactly. And so, like, I do not doubt that is the hardest that Copeland has been hit. I don't doubt it. Because yeah, like it was good. It was good. I'm excited, and I really do hope that we see the rematch at Forbidden Door, because I love Minoru Suzuki. I think he is great. I think he is crazy, and I think that a lot of people. And what's his name? The other guy too. The Bulldog.
Yeah.
Those are two people that people don't like think about a lot. They underestimate a lot, but they are crazy dudes and they are fun to watch wrestle. So yeah, I hope Forbidden Door brings him back. That would be great.
Yeah, we had and we finished this one off, which was kind of interesting with Copeland using the kill switch, which is Christian Cage's finisher, which was only fitting, and that was kind of interesting. Maybe to your point about a rematch at Forbidden Door, because Suzuki didn't take the handshake, where Copeland then responds with, I would have been disappointed if he did shake my hand. That was a war, the kind of war that Christian Cage knows nothing about. I am still coming for you. I like that. Right, as a pan to Christian watching on the monitor in the back. So, which was a nice fitting. So again, they're still pushing the storyline there and still adding to the storyline, which is great. So that really wrapped up Dynamite for this week. But I know you guys had some interest in talking about one of the big matches, the cage match on Collision. And I'll send it over to you, Mr. Hargrave, to introduce this one.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the cage match on Collision between House of Black and FTR and Daniel Garcia, because a lot of people kind of missed it. There was this big Royal Rumble going on, right? And so I think we had all-time low numbers of people watching Collision. But I want to urge people to go out and watch this match, because it's one of the best cage matches and definitely one of the best House of Black and FTR matches that we've seen. It's 25 minutes long, with commercial breaks in there, but it's a pretty epic match. It's a pay-per-view quality. I don't know. Siren, you watched this thing. What were your impressions of this?
I absolutely loved it. There were some spots that were set up so early on that I was like, I wonder what they're going to do with that. And then when it came into play, you're like, oh, and it was like so well done that it was like, yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was really great. I loved what they did with Garcia. I really love like the piss and vinegar, like, I'm not done yet. Like, get back in here and finish me. So good.
Let's talk about the build. So they start off early on the show, and we see that Garcia's been beat up backstage.
Yes.
Right? He's bloody backstage. So they don't know they don't know if he's going to be ready to wrestle or not ready to wrestle. So they call in Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe comes up and says, hey, I spilled blood with you guys. I can get in that cage and do my thing. Let me help you out. And so that's what they go forward with. However, House of Black attacks the three of them on the ramp. and they have this huge fight on the ramp. They're throwing each other before anyone
forgot
gets
about
into the cage. There's like a good 5-minute wrestling match on the outside until
Mhm.
Daniel Garcia runs down, his head all taped up, right?
Mhm.
It's
Right.
awesome. It's
They did
awesome.
really well with it. It was very, very much like good suspense. Cash actually, the table spot that Cash took, I was shocked. I was like, I can't believe that he took that. Like,
There's
good
some big
job.
spots.
Yeah.
Cash Cash gets into the cage in
Mhm.
kind of an unconventional way, right?
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. No. But like
For
there was
me,
two off the top.
watching people do moves off the top of the cage in AEW just kind of hits different than other places. I don't know, man. They're more dangerous. It feels.
I mean, maybe because they are
They
little.
might be.
That
They
Sammy
might.
spot was pretty safe though recently. I thought that was pretty scary, but it looked pretty safe.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I was going to say,
Yeah, well, there were no crash pads here, just a bunch of big dudes.
that's very true. There were so many dudes though. That's a lot of man meat to land on.
it is a lot of man meat, that's for
Oh,
sure.
man.
Yeah, I'm always surprised at how often we're getting girls and guys jumping off the cage at the top, which is
Scary.
interesting. I just always think if I was up there, I would think, my God, this is way higher. This feels way higher than what it looks like on TV. So God bless these men and women that are doing these crazy stunts. It's nuts, but
Yeah, we had a lot of them in the match. Cash gets into the match by jumping off the top of the cage into everybody.
Mhm.
Dax and Brody King have a huge bump on the inside.
That
Dax
scared
ends up
me.
delivering like a suplex on Brody King as they're like almost to the top of the cage, which is insane.
It's quite stellar though. They land very well though. Keep that in mind.
True.
Everybody. I had like a panic attack. I was like, oh God.
True. There's no one to catch him on. No one's going to catch Brody King.
Gotta land. Yeah.
If anybody tried to catch Brody King, I would be concerned.
yes.
Here he does stage dives though at his concerts and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
True.
Well, count me out for that one. But as I just wanted to touch on with you guys. I know we're just approaching over our hour mark, but
Yes.
we would be remiss if we didn't at least mention one of the largest annual events that goes on every January in the world of professional wrestling / sports entertainment, with the Royal Rumble, which came from Tropicana Field in Tampa, which they've got a big, they really get to see themselves. That's like their second home from Connecticut, I think, just because of how the history, especially with the pandemic and how often they were there. And a lot of the wrestlers, live there. And, obviously they had to get Hulk Hogan in there to say how much he loves Tampa, and Tampa's a great spot and everyone's here and should be here. But overall, I just want to, we can talk about it because we had really 3 ex-AEW stars make significant appearances, within both. So maybe Hargrave, what were your thoughts on the Rumble? Just quickly, just what you think overview.
Yeah, just in all, I enjoyed it, which is not typical for me watching WWE pay-per-views. So there you go. That's a big deal for me. I enjoyed the women's Rumble. I enjoyed the men's Rumble. I got a nice nap during the Roman Reigns match, which is nice. And, I got upset for the Logan Paul match, which I think was the desired outcome, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Siren?
I thought the women's Rumble was infinitely better than the men's. It was significantly more entertaining. There was so many more twists and turns and people showing up. We had ladies from different companies. Forbidden Door, that's silly. I love it. So yeah, ladies was awesome. Jade, my thing with Jade and her coming out, she looked a lot stronger. And I see people comparing her like super ridiculously chiseled abs and chiseled, cut form from AEW to her debut at WWE. And they're like, it's different. She doesn't look as chiseled. No, she doesn't look as cut. dude, she looks like she's built for strength now. Like, you know what I mean? She's not built to like define each and every muscle so it looks a certain way anymore. She's built to pick bitches up and throw them around, and she did that, and it was good. And it was good. And you want to know why it's good? A lot of people were like, she wasn't that great. There were some messy spots. Bitch, did you watch her wrestling before? Did you see anything that she did before? Anything? No? Okay, watch that, come back, watch this, tell me what you think, because I thought it was chef's kiss. It was great. The men's rumble, I only watched it because I was hoping Cody Rhodes did his thing, and he did, and that was great. I thought it was really funny that CM Punk, I literally called it, at least I believe that I called it. You go back, watch our live reaction video, I am sure you can see me go over and go, he's going to be out for the next 3 months. You just watch, and turn back to it. Because I was talking to my buddy who also fell asleep during the Roman Reigns match, by the way. Hilarious. Like, actually sleeping here.
It's a good nap.
Yeah, solid. Yeah. And, but yeah, like, all in all, it was entertaining. I got what I wanted out of it, which was to see my AEW people shine a little bit. So that was dope.
Except for Andrade.
Hey, he did okay. He did okay. Everybody's like, he showed up so soon.
I saw people saying that changing the music didn't help.
No.
Him coming out looking the way he did, and I don't know if that was his old theme from back when he was in the W. I think it's something new. And so like nobody had any recognition of what was going on. It took
the mask was the only reason I knew it was him.
Yeah.
I was like, but I thought he got an okay showing, but I also didn't feel very shocked that he was there. Like a lot of people, the big thing was like, oh wow, it's so soon he's there, and I'm like, it's not he didn't come from WWE, my guy. He doesn't have a non-complete clause. He's fine to just go there and do shit. I'm sure the only reason that he was not there sooner was because Rumble is a solid time to debut, and I mean, would you not be home with your lady who just took a big old tumble off the top rope? Like that did not look good. It looked like it hurt. I would be at home with my woman. Like, I don't know, for at least a little bit anyway. But it wasn't bad. I thought Jade and Cody did really, really well. Andrade is Andrade. He's,
Yeah, no, I agree. Overall, I thought the Rumbles were good. I like what they did with Jade. I like how they brought Jade in, which made sense because they built out Nia Jax again to be the beast, right? And again, and they totally set it up to Jade to come in to be the one, because the way she picked up and slammed and the way she could pick up
effortlessly,
that solidified it. Everyone's like, okay, she's the real deal. She just picked up Nia Jax like, just a sack of potatoes and threw. That really showcased just how strong and like she's a serious contender.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because I got so used to her character in AEW that I'm trying to see this other. It's like still that bad bitch, whatever that, but she still looks so nice. Like she's going a little bit like I'm trying to see where they're going with her. Which way is she going to go, heel or are they going babyface? So it's going to be interesting because she was such a heel. So it's hard to see.
It was easy to hate her though. She just got a belt because she looked the part. It was so easy to hate her.
So what do you guys?
I think at the end that it turned around though.
It did.
I think she was invincible at the end. She could say all the nasty stuff she wanted, and we were just cheering her anyways.
I was the biggest advocate of Jade after everybody's calling her green, and she took it to the chin and she dyed her hair green and she put in the work, and you could see her improve. You could see her not always letting somebody else talk for her. Like she had a mouthpiece constantly before. You could see her like taking the mic and talking and doing her stuff. It wasn't always the greatest, but she was trying, and that is what it's all about, my guy. Like if she was just to come in there and hold the belt and do absolutely no improvement whatsoever, yeah, that's why she was so easy to hate. But her actually putting in the effort and changing, I am so excited to see what they're going to do with her in WWE. That's why I'm watching WWE. Like that's why I was watching the Rumble. Like that is how much she caught me. So
yeah. So overall,
it's funny. I was watching the Women's Royal Rumble for about 10 minutes. And then I realized that Jade might show up, and I got super invested. like I was kind of just casual, like watching, and I was like, Jade might show up. I'm like, hold on.
Wait a second.
So then
Wait a second.
so they did their job well then, because that's
Yeah.
the reaction they wanted. They wanted to get you anticipated and not leave.
I didn't even, I forgot that she was there. So it was very exciting when she finally came out.
I thought it was, you know what, nice when Bailey won. You know that she came in number one. You know, I don't hate that. She's put her time in. You know, she does deserve it.
Bailey's
So I was actually surprised. I was just really happy that it wasn't Becky Lynch. Which I'm so over. I'm so over the bad character. I'm just
I don't get all the hatred towards Bailey. I've seen a lot of people like, why Bailey? I'm like, why not Bailey? Does no one know how fantastic Bailey is? Like, what are you doing?
And she's got a like she can pull off the humor, right? She's got a good humor to her too. But yeah, so no, I was fine with that. I didn't mind the what's his name? Logan Paul. This guy, man, like I can see he's so green, but he is such a good wrestler for someone who's only been doing it for a couple of years.
I'm not gonna lie, I agree.
Like you love him or hate the guy. You're almost waiting. You're almost waiting for him to like, oh, he botched that, but he doesn't. He fucking does it just as good as anybody who's veteran. So like he's an absolute anomaly. You know, you hear guys that come in that can do that, but not to his scale. When you throw this guy came right into with a championship match, and he's been another champion. I do like, this match was good. The ending. I love that ending that they did, and they had the brass knucks around Kevin Owens' hand. I was like, oh, what if? Because I totally thought he had it. So I thought that was a great ploy. So even it ended up in a disqualification. It wasn't that bad. Like, I mean, it still was okay the way it was done, because it just created still like, are you kidding me? So I really liked that match. It was really good. I didn't mind the 4-way match. Maybe not. Maybe I probably liked it more than you guys did. But it was fine.
We all knew that was gonna end.
And I was fine. I was fine with Roman winning it. That's fine. That was expected. And just a couple of comments on the actual men's Royal Rumble. Andrade, I was actually kind of disappointed because I really liked him in AEW, and I thought he was on a roll there, and I thought that he could do so much. But just never got the opportunity, or just there's things in the way. So
speaking of missed opportunity, they had an opportunity there to have Cody and him exchange a look. That was Cody's last feud in AEW. Nothing, just no fun.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I don't know if you noticed. I thought you could really see when Punk came out, and I was like, oh man, he has been covered in sports entertainment. He came out, he's like, they obviously told him, look, man, you got to hit the gym big time. We need you like. You can't look like you just got out of rehab. We need to get some color. So he had a nice color, nice bronze to him. He had put on probably 15 pounds. He looked beefy. His hair was nice and cut and nice and dyed. His gray was trimmed down so he didn't look so old manish. I was like, there you go.
He was still dripping in sweat, like it's way quicker. And there's guys who've been in there for like 15 minutes longer, and you see Phil and he's just drenched, and you're like, my God, man, like, you okay? You good? You okay? You need a Pepsi? Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So overall, I thought the Rumble was good. There's
nothing prepares you for wrestling like wrestling, and if you're not wrestling, then that's what's going to happen.
100%. And again, so we know that though he'll be out for 4 to 6 weeks at least with a torn tricep from that match, which I think obviously is a huge blow to the what was going to happen for the storylines to do with WrestleMania. But maybe this just more solidifies now just Cody's stories to finish his story right now that you've almost removed Punk. That people were like questioning, how is this going to affect what we thought was going to be the final story. So maybe now it's going to be more in lead to finish the story now that Punk's out of it. So I'm assuming, and we can talk about this in the next episode, what we think in the predictions, if we just know right off the bat, we already know Cody is going to challenge Roman Reigns. That looks like it's 100%.
I don't know. They've recently thrown some shit at that. They just muddied that up. He cut a promo with Seth, where Seth says you should come try to win the working man's title. Don't challenge Roman. And
are they thinking challenging him?
Now people are thinking that it's going to be Roman and Rock at WrestleMania because that's a big money match. And you might have Cody settle for, and who knows if Seth can even wrestle at WrestleMania. Like, it's way too soon to, like, everybody's broken. I have no idea. It's weird.
This is can you imagine having two of your top stars dealing with injuries like 2 months before WrestleMania? And they're serious injuries. It's not just like a oops, you know, things that are torn. So yeah, I mean, it just really
Cody did it.
He did, but then he was done for a long time. He was done for a long time after that. So I don't know. Overall, I thought it was a good show. I mean, I don't know. Would you guys, if you were give it a score to 10, Mr. Hargrave, who would you give the Rumble this year?
Oh, I don't know if I can do 10. Let's do out of 5.
I gave it
hard.
I give it a 7.6 on the thing,
7.6,
but only because of the women's Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give the show out of 5. I would give it a 4. It was pretty good.
Okay.
Could have been
So I'll just double your number. I'll give it an 8 and a 10.
There you go. See, there you go. There you go.
All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap up the show for another exciting episode. It was great to chat with you guys again, and thanks to everyone who tuned in. And please like and subscribe, and to all your friends and family. We'd love to see you. So thanks very much for another episode, and we'll see you all next week, guys.
Bye.